We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
Next game we got. This is going to be a fun one, all right? The Berlin Thunder versus the Anthroners, right? So on multiple different levels. Who are the Anthroners, right? We don't know much. We don't know much about them. We don't know much about their domestic talent. And then Berlin, on the other hand, has a whole new identity on offense with their powerful trio of receivers, big quarterback down in the Isom. And Thrones actually brought in Jared Evans, someone who has NFL experience and played at Virginia Tech. Some may think this may be the top quarterback matchup of the week. For me personally, I'm expecting a high scoring affair. I'm expecting 50, 55 plus points scored. I think, again, the Bruins head into a situation where they may not know a lot about the Enthroners, but the Enthroners are a team that's been flying on their radar, not just in the ELF, but in their league as well. I think looking at this matchup, one of the key matchups I'm looking at is receiver for the Thunder, Aaron Jackson versus DP Elijah Moody for the Enthroners. That's gonna be a good one to keep an eye on. But then again, you still got to worry about Wilczek and Zimmerman. If you're the Enthroners defense. One guy I want to point out that, yes, I'm going to say this. One guy that's going to have or can have a Kyle Kitchens impact, not just in this game, but on the league, is Jabari Regan. Someone who's, quick off the ball, uses his hands, high motor. I think a lot of ELF media, ELF fans are going to learn a lot about Jabari Regan this year alone. And they've also brought in Anthony Rodriguez, who played for Barcelona. So I think the Thrones have a stout defense, again, on paper. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But it's going to be interesting to see. And this game could be potentially fireworks. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I'm intrigued to this one. Berlin, I like the Thunder just as an organization themselves. They're slowly building. They're finding players. They're keeping the guys that they want, and I think that's really important because we've seen a lot of the best players from other teams sort of go around the league. But the Thunder, the main thing they did was get their guys that have done well for them, done brilliant. I can't wait to see Wilczek's season this year. He was someone that really blew up last season, and going in as sort of one of the top rated wide receivers is really exciting to see. The Enthroners, they're just, and I'm really, really intrigued about them. I think actually out of all 17 teams, these are the ones I'm most sort of excited to see. Yeah. You mentioned Evans, that you mentioned about the experience he has. Yeah, it's exciting. Apparently, people were saying he was close to getting Heisman Trophy votes when he was playing in college.
He was a dude. I remember watching him here in the States. He was a guy played at Virginia Tech. Big body, like Donovan Isom is probably the biggest quarterback in Europe football history. Think Cam Newton. If Cam Newton and Big Ben had a baby, that's Donovan Isom in terms of his size. Jared Evans is a big body too. Maybe not as big as Donovan, but both are similar where they got strong, very, very strong arms. And I know Jared is ready to prove, the signing, obviously, because they started with Gabriel Cunningham, who played for Leipzig, but also prove that, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in Europe. So this one's an intriguing one. But who is?
Sorry, you were going to say. No, So who am I? So I tell you what, I was on an R in. I have just gone from the Thunder because I feel like I'm going to pick the team that sort of got more ELF experience. Although I think the Enthroners could be a real good team, especially like Benjamin Ploux as well. I love Benjamin Ploux at the Dragons. I always felt he was really underutilized in that team, but understandable with the talent they had in Barcelona. So I like the Enthroners. I think they're going to have a good season, but I'm taking the Thunder for this first game.
And it's interesting because these teams, whether people believe it or not, are kind of like built similarly, right? Both have a strong defensive end, Kyle Kitchens and Jabari Regan. Strong at the linebacker position. Got good DBs, right? With Berlin, Morris Steele and Alex Spillerum. I believe is their American import that they signed. And then Elijah Moody on the other side. And then offensively, I think the key to this matchup is who's going to control who's going to control the game up front, right, on the offensive line. If I believe so, Connor Bolton, an offensive lineman, he played in Berlin, and now he's with the Anthroners as well.
Yeah,
so this could be a high scoring game. You're rocking with Berlin.
Yeah, but I think it'll be close.
I think it'll be close too. I think Berlin edges it out just by the hair. All right.
Yeah.
I just think, they got a lot of weapons on offensively, especially in that receiving group. I think they're going to try to show those guys off. And outside of, Aaron Jackson. So if you neutralize him with Elijah Moody, let's just say, do the Anthroners have the domestic talent to keep up with, a Robin Vilcek or Max Zimmerman? So we'll see. I'm going to rock with Berlin. I'm going to say a close one. I'm going to say the point total goes over 55 points for anybody who's setting bets out there and they want to take my uneducated advice. I'm going to say the score goes over 55 points for this game.
I wouldn't say uneducated, by the way. I'd say educated, but yeah.
Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Animal.